All right, so today we're gonna be making a beat that would be perfect to send to an artist like Lil Durk. Let's go. So let's go into Keyscape, and I'm gonna go with the softest preset right here. It's one of my favorites. I'm also going to throw this into the mixer track. We'll just add a little bit of reverb to this. Probably go with something like 40%, 30, something like that. Bring up the low cut, and this should probably sound good. I'm going to build out a chord progression on the MIDI, but I'll break it down after. It's going to be super simple. All I'm going to do is play one inversion on each chord. So I'll show you how you could do that after, but I want to record it to get that realistic feel. And this is going to be in A minor. Its relative major is C, so we could also do C major, but let's go ahead and do A minor. To explain this, it's actually pretty easy. So all I did was take the middle note of every chord and invert it up one octave. So if I go ahead, let's just duplicate this over here so I could show you. If I take all of these top notes right here and bring them down, control down arrow, let me shorten them a little bit. You'll see that we have very basic triads, right? We have an A minor triad right here because it's 2 spaces and then 3. Then right here, we have a G major triad. We have 3 spaces skipped and then 2. And then over here, we have an E minor triad, 2 spaces and 3 spaces. So that's why it's minor. Then we go back over here, we go to a F major, 3 spaces, 2 spaces. And then here, a G major, 3 spaces, 2 spaces, and then an A minor, 2 spaces, 3 spaces. So they're real simple chords, but if you wanted to build these out, you know, you would just take the middle note right here. This is all I did when I played it, and control up arrow to create an inversion. So from here, I'm just gonna add in a couple passing notes that sound good. And for that, I'm really just gonna go by ear, maybe to A, right? Something smooth. That actually sounds pretty cool. We could leave that one. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, yeah. Right here, one note away from each other. And then that leads into a higher tone, right? So we could hit Control B like that. And because we have C going, or sorry, we have B going to C, we can start to go up higher here. Let's see. Probably go really high like here. Yeah, there we go, to that B. Maybe quicker. Go from D to E. And I want to do that again. Let's see over here. You kind of just start to hear like melodies in your head. I know it's kind of hard to explain because like I'm kind of just placing notes, but really just listening. Like once you start a melody and you kind of hear it going, sometimes you're going to get ideas of like what you could hear and just place notes where you think they will sound good. And a lot of the time it just becomes a little bit easier because over time you'll start to hear like, oh, that might sound cool. And you just find the notes and play off of it. It's really just a lot of trial and error once you get those first chords down. So now let's speed this up. Let's go like 160 something for this. This out. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe like 158. There we go. It doesn't sound too fast. Just got to get used to it because the other one was a lot slower. Maybe we'll go like 157. That sounds crazy. So let's go with that. Next thing I want to do is add in a guitar. I'm going to go with one of my favorite presets in here, which is more gain right here. Then we need to click this and we need to bring up the range to 12 so we could do some pitch bends. And we're gonna add some reverb, a lot of reverb actually. Also an EQ in the beginning, go like that. So I'm gonna just do a quarter note. So because I put this up to 12 on the range, when I do a full pitch bend on my keyboard, I'm gonna be going up pretty much 2 semitones. So let me show you. If I were to hit F and I do a pitch bend all the way up, we're actually gonna be on G right here, right? So I know that when I'm doing those pitch bends and going all the way up, I'm going up 2 semitones. So the easiest way is to look at the scale highlighting that we have here, right? And see where we could do notes that when we pitch bend, they go up by 2 semitones. So for example, right here at G, if I pitch bent it all the way up, it would go up 1, 2, and it would land on A. So this would work. If I also went from A, pitch bend up 1, 2, it would land on B. So that would work. So you can figure out notes like that so you know that the note you're pitch bending all the way up to will be inside the scale. Let's go into Analog Labs, and I'm gonna go into my Eternal Analog Lab bank, and I'm going to get a violin from there. It's one of my favorite violins, honestly. It really is my go-to violin. So let's go into here, and let's get the violin right here. All right, so in Arcade, some of the best ones to use for beats like this are gonna be Hooked, Distant Voices. Sometimes there's vocals inside of Honey, but it's better for like R&B. So let's go inside of Hooked, and all I'm gonna do is throw this into mixer track 4. And I have a preset on here for Arcade vocals. This right here, it's just a little bit of EQ and some reverb like that. These are the phrases that I used, so I'm just gonna let it play to let you hear it. It's the same processing, I just added a little bit of delay. And really for this, all I do is just place notes, places, mess around on the keyboard, see what sounds good, and try to figure out a phrasing to where it doesn't sound like repetitive, and it kind of sounds like a whole vocal phrase for the 16 bars or 8 bars, whatever I'm working on. You can see I'm using different notes for every single one of these. One thing I also like to do is sometimes like this phrase will be cool for half of it, but the second half doesn't finish it, and maybe another note does. So that's what I did here, and you'll hear that these two complement each other well. So I'm gonna just let you hear this all together. If you haven't tried Arcade and you're interested in trying it, I do have an affiliate link in the description, which will give you a 30-day free trial. So make sure to check that out. All right, so I got some drums loaded up right here. I don't want to do a 2-step on this. I want to go for a little bit of a different bounce. Let's go with something like this. So we'll start off like that, and then I'm just gonna have this clap right here repeat, and then we'll go into the hi-hat and add in some rolls, but let's just see, you know, kind of what we wanna do for this initial bounce. Go like that. Cool, so we'll keep it like that. And now we can add in a couple little rolls here and there. Something simple like that. Sounds pretty cool. Then we can go ahead and add a snare into this for some more bounce. Probably like that. Let's get an open hat in here. Probably do 2 open hats like this. Yeah, it's fire. Now let's get the 808 going. I'm gonna just get the root notes from the chord progression over here. Let's go up an octave here. Drop way too low. Hold on. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh, and the timing's off too. I didn't even realize because the root notes of the piano were a little bit off. So let me check all these real quick now. We could bring this up to like B there, and we went up 2, so we'd have to just pitch the rest, which is really easy. We just go in here. Arcade we're gonna have to do by itself, so we are gonna be in B minor now, and then we would take this one and this one, so we just hit Control and Shift like that to select those 2, transpose 2, and then of course we got to go to the guitar, stretch up by 2. So now we can hear it up, and then I think for the guitar part I'll add in a bass and have that be a separate part. Let's hear what this sounds like now though. It might sound a little better. I like the strings better because we could drop these down. Yeah, I like this. For the second part, let's take out the vocal like that, and we'll also take out the 808, and we'll just get like a nice sub bass for this. So I'm gonna go into the Broken Hearts kit. I'm gonna get 808 2, which is one of my favorite ones. So let me grab these real quick. Put this on cut itself, go in there, boom, yep, and then we'll hit Alt L. So it could be something smooth like that. See what I'm saying? And then it'll just drop right in. Yeah, that's crazy. I like that a lot. And if we had it go back into this part, I didn't have time. Yeah. Yeah, the string's perfect. I like to keep my beats nice and open for artists to get on. And I've kind of just got used to making beats where like I don't add too much because I used to add way too much. And now I just kind of listen to them and they just kind of like, they breathe a little bit, you know, it just leaves room for the artist, and that's perfect, especially if you're trying to send these out or create loops to send out for like placements and stuff. So hopefully you could learn something from this video. I'm going to arrange the beat real quick and we'll hear the full thing. If you're interested in any of my kits, there'll be a link to those in the description. Make sure to join the Discord, link to that in the description as well. Let's hear the full beat.